Live from the NBC6 studios, this is South Florida Today.
Well, we all go through a point in our lives where we feel tired, confused about our futures, maybe even depressed. The natural solution may be to visit a therapist. But my next guest has a different idea. Dr. Barry Duncan is the author of What's Right with You. And I like the name of that book. Tell me, what is your book about?
It's about how people can marshal their own natural resources and strengths to face the obstacles that they have in their life.
Now, do you think that, for example, we're doing too many things like taking pills as a result of trying to deal with our problems?
Absolutely. There are two facts that you have to keep in mind whenever you think about mental health. And one is that the multi-billion-dollar drug industry spends more money on marketing than it spends on research and development. And also the number of mental health professionals has increased by 275% over the last 20 years. So hardly a day goes by without some mental health expert pontificating about the sorry state of American mental health. Some say that half of us have a diagnosable mental disorder. So the country's replete with these free mental health checkups, National Depression Day, National Anxiety Day. I keep waiting for National I'm Mad at My Spouse Day or National I Don't Want to Go to Work Day.
Oh, I like that
Yeah,
one.
me too. But the upshot of it is what happens is that there's this culture of learned helplessness that develops, and most people think that somehow they're broken, scarred, incomplete, or sick. And it disempowers our innate abilities to help ourselves.
Well, if you're in that state, how do you get out of it?
Well, there are several ways to get out of it. First, you got to dump the killer Ds, what I call the killer Ds, which are these very negative ways of looking at ourselves. Disorder, disease, dysfunction, disability, all those things that tell us that there's something wrong with us, have to stop looking at that way of thinking of ourselves and instead find the hero within. Find those resources and strengths that are natural, innate to all of us. And my book goes through several methods and exercises to find those aspects of ourselves so that we can marshal those against whatever problem that we're facing. A next step is to recruit a change partner. Therapy provides a change partner for folks, but you can find them in your natural support system also. Groups like Overeaters Anonymous, AA, Narcotics Anonymous have used this idea for a long time. Next is to find an approach that fits your own values about how you can change.
Interesting.
This is a big problem for a lot of people in therapy and otherwise. They find approaches that aren't really a good fit for them. They think the doctor knows best, but does she really? I don't think so, because no one shares our own unique insights about ourselves that we have. So you need to find an approach that's a good fit.
Well, it's amazing that in a country that, you know, is so successful as a whole, and the entire world looks at us as the beacon of the world in some respects, well, some people, why do we have, I guess, this cultural low self-esteem? Because if you have depression and confusion and all this kind of stuff, something's going on.
Absolutely, and it really doesn't add up when you think about it, because last year more than 150 million prescriptions for antidepressants were written.
Wow.
$14 billion were spent on them, but yet the rates of depression, divorce, and suicide have not appreciably changed for the last 40 years. So something doesn't quite add up. I don't think we're near as sick as they try to tell us that we are, because they're trying to market products in that process. But again, the downside is that people then lose sight that human beings are very adaptive and very strong and can come back from almost anything.
Now, I remember Tom Cruise kind of got in a lot of trouble by saying something similar.
Yes, he did.
But you're kind of saying the same thing.
In a lot of ways I am, because 50 years of research about how people change in therapy says that most of it, the lion's share, comes from what people bring to the process. Their resources, their strengths, their resiliencies, not what the therapist or the pill provides them. In many ways, therapy and pills don't provide anything for people that they don't already have themselves. And when people realize that and get supported by good relationships around them, they're capable of making any kind of change they want to.
Fantastic. Wow. Heavy stuff.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, a lot of people should listen up and read your book, because it's enlightening. Again, the book is called What's Right with You. I think that sounds good.